Hi, I'm Doug. Welcome to my home studio here. I'm going to show you how I like to get set up and started on a new idea that Nathan and I will be doing together. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my amp and see if we have a signal. I should, considering that it is plugged into the interface. And so now you can hear it coming through. And what I need to do now is just make sure that my DAW is receiving it. So I go into my mixer board here. I usually track on channel 10. And I will select input 2 because that's the input I'm going into. And this will give you a stereo signal. Alright, great, so we got a signal. This will usually be the part where I tune. I've already tuned, so it's not a big deal. So that's great. So I have this new idea I came up with this morning. And I actually came up with it in the shower, and I was like, this kind of grooves. So on the most basic level, I go into my channel rack here, and I put a downbeat on each quarter note of a 4-bar measure. That way it's just a little easier to get the tempo, and I know that this riff is in 4/4, so let's hear 130 BPM. Way too fast. Yeah, I'd say 86 BPM. It'll be a tempo that would work well for us. I'm not going to concern myself with getting too fancy with the drum kit right off the bat, but this will be the foundation of where we're going. So here right now, I'm dropping in the 4 on the floor beat into my timeline so I can record it. And I just have to make sure it's all lined up on the grid here, so that way everything is in time. I'm thinking I probably won't do more than an 8-bar take, and alrighty, so we have it in our playlist here. So what I need to do is make sure that my channel is selected, and so I should be ready to record now. I'm going to hit song, make sure I'm at the beginning. And then we're going to arm this puppy, and then we're going to try to get some takes. 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I'm like well on my way to getting it. I think I might have even gotten it there. I'm just going to do one more because I'm a perfectionist. And that was like pretty much it. And in fact, I was pretty happy with how it played Variation A on that, so I'm probably going to hang on to that as well. And I might retake Variation B, but that was pretty solid as a starting point. I can see it's in time, which will make Nathan's job of adding the drums later much more manageable. You gotta make sure you're paying attention to details like that when you're recording, because going back and doing it again is tedious and you won't want to do it.
For this assignment, I utilized Superior Drummer 3's Grooves tab in order to construct a quick first structure to be played alongside the bass lines that Doug recorded and sent me the stems for. For the sake of time, I will only cover this aspect of Superior Drummer 3 for a demonstration in constructing a quick blueprint for a song's structure. The Grooves tab offers a sophisticated environment with numerous filter options to browse and search amongst your Superior Drummer MIDI drum clip library. The central results pane allows clips to be auditioned, and your chosen clips can be dragged and dropped to your host DAW or sequencer or to the song track zone at the bottom of the window. Aside from manual filtering or browsing, there are several features here that combine to make going from a single clip to a complete song-length drum part incredibly simple. For example, top left of the Groove tab are 2 buttons, Tap to Find and the MIDI Drop Zone. If you've already found a single MIDI loop that you like, you can drag and drop it from the results pane into the drop zone. SD3's search algorithm will then use that pattern as part of the criteria for suggesting other loops that may work with it. With Tap to Find, you are presented with a blank 2-bar MIDI clip in which you can play, for example via a MIDI keyboard, some basic elements of a drum pattern. This might just be a kick, or some combination of kick and snare, but the pattern will simply loop while you overdub until you are happy with the basic idea. You then hit the Show Results button, whereupon SD3 searches the clip library to find MIDI loops that closely match or would work alongside the basic pattern you have created. In a songwriting context, when you have a guitar or piano idea and can hear the drum part in your head, in an instant, Tap to Find will pull something similar out of the library. Since I know the BPM, or beats per minute, and have Superior Drummer 3 set to follow the host DAW's tempo, any groove I select will automatically be presented in 86 BPM within Superior Drummer 3, even if that sample was recorded at a different BPM. The samples I selected to edit were chosen based out of a pool of funk grooves with a funk-style drum kit. I added additional dynamics to SD3 drums in order to add punch and body. For example, I added saturation to the drums. I also did this with the bass tracks to match the dynamics of the drums as best as I could. Now that I have the drums relatively laid out, and the multitrack generally mixed, I can export the multitrack as a single WAV file in order to be used in Premiere Pro.